For billions of years, the Earth has been adrift in a cosmic shooting gallery. A silent, endless blizzard of icy comets and rocky asteroids hurtles through the darkness, their paths dictated by the cold, impartial laws of gravity. Some are the size of mountains, others the size of entire continents, each one a potential messenger of annihilation. Our small, blue, fragile world is a tiny, precious target in an infinite and often violent void. By all rights, our history should be one of constant, catastrophic impacts. And yet, for the most part, we have been left in peace. This is not an accident. We are not just lucky. We are protected. We have a guardian, a silent, colossal shepherd, whose immense presence has sculpted a shield of safety around us. This is the story of that guardian, the story of the planet that saved the Earth. That guardian is the largest and most powerful world in our solar system, the great and majestic gas giant, Jupiter. It is a planet of such immense scale that all the other planets in our solar system could fit comfortably inside it. A colossal sphere of swirling storms and ancient winds, more than 1,000 times the size of our own Earth. We see it in our night sky as a brilliant, steady, golden light, a calm and beautiful beacon. But its true nature is not one of stillness. It is a planet of immense and restless power. And it is this power, this sheer gravitational dominance, that has made it our unwitting protector. To understand how Jupiter saved us, we must first understand the geography of our solar system and the dangers that lurk in its deep, dark, outer suburbs. Beyond the orbit of Mars, beyond the rocky asteroid belt, lies the cold, vast realm of the giant planets. And further out still, in the deep freeze of interstellar space, lies the Kuiper Belt and the Oort cloud. These are the great, ancient reservoirs of cosmic debris, the leftover building materials from the formation of our solar system. Trillions of icy comets and frozen asteroids drift here in a slow, silent, billion-year dance, their orbits mostly stable and harmless. But the solar system is not a perfectly still and ordered clockwork. The gentle gravitational nudges from passing stars, the subtle pulls of the other giant planets, can sometimes disturb one of these sleeping giants. An icy comet, 100 kilometers wide, can be nudged out of its stable orbit and begin a long, slow, and inexorable fall towards the sun. Its path will take it to the heart of the solar system, right through the neighborhood where we live. This is where the danger lies. The inner solar system, the home of the small, rocky planets, is a place that should be constantly peppered with these long-period comets, these messengers of ice and dust from the farthest reaches of our sun's domain. Simulations that model the evolution of our solar system without Jupiter paint a terrifying picture. They show a young Earth, bombarded 1,000 times more frequently by large, life-altering impactors. In such a world, it is unlikely that complex life, let alone conscious life, would have ever had the chance to gain a foothold. The cosmic shooting gallery would have been too active, the resets too frequent, the environment too unstable. But our solar system has a secret weapon. It has Jupiter. Imagine a comet falling from the darkness on a collision course with the inner solar system. As it travels, it must first pass through the domain of the great giant. And as it approaches Jupiter, it enters the most powerful gravitational field in the solar system, second only to the sun itself. Jupiter's immense gravity takes hold of the small, icy traveler. And in that moment, the fate of the Earth is often decided. In most cases, Jupiter acts as a colossal gravitational slingshot. The comet, instead of continuing on its path, is captured by Jupiter's gravity, whipped around a giant planet at incredible speed, and then flung out of the solar system entirely, with so much extra velocity that it will never return. It is a cosmic game of billiards, where Jupiter, with perfect precision, pockets the dangerous ball into the infinite void of interstellar space. For every one comet that we see in our skies, it is estimated that Jupiter has ejected thousands more, cleansing our solar system of threats we never even knew existed. It is a silent, constant, and incredibly effective form of planetary defense. It is the work of a guardian, watching over the inner worlds, its presence a constant and unwavering shield. But this is not the only way it protects us. Sometimes the angle of approach is different. Sometimes the comet does not have the right trajectory to be flung away. Sometimes its path takes it even closer to the giant. And in these cases, Jupiter does not act as a slingshot, but as a net. It becomes a cosmic vacuum cleaner. The comet, instead of being ejected, is pulled into a decaying orbit around Jupiter, or, in many cases, pulled directly into the planet itself. It is a final, sacrificial act of protection. The giant planet takes a hit that might have otherwise been destined for us. It absorbs the impact, its deep, turbulent atmosphere swallowing the cosmic intruder hole, leaving behind only a temporary, dark scar, a bruise the size of a planet, as a testament to the battle that was just won on our behalf. This is not just a theory. We have seen it happen. In the year 1993, 3 astronomers, Carolyn and Eugene Shoemaker and David Levy, were conducting a patient search for near-Earth asteroids and comets from the Palomar Observatory in California. It was quiet, meticulous work, scanning photographic plates of the night sky, looking for the faint, fuzzy smudges of light that betrayed the presence of a previously unknown celestial traveler. And one clear night in March, they found something extraordinary. It was a comet, but a comet unlike any they had ever seen before. It was not a single cohesive object with a bright, shining head and a long, graceful tail. Instead, it looked as though it had been shattered. It was a string of pearls, a celestial train of more than 20 individual fragments, all traveling together through space, one after the other, wreathed in a faint, shared cloud of gas and dust. It was a broken comet. They named it Shoemaker-Levy 9. And as astronomers around the world turned their telescopes to this strange and beautiful object, they began to unravel its violent and dramatic recent history. By calculating its orbit backwards in time, they discovered that just a few months prior, in the summer of 1992, the comet had made an incredibly close pass by the planet Jupiter. It had skimmed just above the giant planet's swirling cloud tops, while inside the region where the planet's gravity is overwhelmingly powerful. In that close encounter, the immense tidal forces of Jupiter had acted upon the fragile, icy comet like a gravitational hammer. The comet was torn apart, ripped into more than 20 large pieces, and captured into a temporary, 2-year orb around the giant planet. The beautiful string of pearls they were now observing was the aftermath of that catastrophic encounter. But the story was not over. As the astronomers continued to calculate the comet's future path, they came to a stunning and electrifying conclusion. The comet's new orbit was not a stable one. It was a death spiral. In July of 1994, less than a year and a half after its discovery, the entire train of cometary fragments was on a direct collision course with Jupiter itself. For the first time in human history, we were about to witness a major impact event in our solar system in real time. It was a chance to see the raw power of the cosmos at work, a power that had shaped the very history of our own planet, but which we had never before seen with our own eyes. The world watched. Every major telescope on Earth, and the Hubble Space Telescope in orbit above it, turned its gaze towards Jupiter. A sense of quiet anticipation filled the global astronomical community. This was not just a scientific curiosity. It was a profound and sobering dress rehearsal. The fragments of Shoemaker-Levy 9 were not small. Some were estimated to be over a kilometer in diameter. An impact of that scale on Earth would mean a global catastrophe, an extinction-level event. But instead, they were headed for our great guardian. And then, in the 3rd week of July 1994, the show began. One by one, over the course of 6 days, the fragments of the broken comet slammed into Jupiter's southern hemisphere. We could not see the impacts directly, as they occurred on the side of Jupiter that was, at the time, facing away from the Earth. But Jupiter is a planet that spins very rapidly, completing a full rotation in just under 10 hours. And so, just a short while after each impact, the impact site would rotate into our view, and what we saw was breathtaking. Each impact unleashed an amount of energy that was almost impossible to comprehend. The largest fragment, designated Fragment G, exploded with a force estimated to be around 6 million megatons of TNT. That is hundreds of times more powerful than all the nuclear weapons on Earth, detonated at once. The fireballs and explosions were colossal, rising thousands of kilometers above Jupiter's cloud tops, so bright that they were easily visible even in small amateur telescopes, and they left behind scars. As each impact site rotated into view, we saw great, dark, bruised-looking patches in Jupiter's atmosphere. These impact scars were enormous. The largest of them was a dark, swirling blotch that was larger than the entire planet Earth. For weeks, these dark bruises remained visible, a stark and beautiful reminder of the colossal battle that had just taken place. Jupiter had taken a volley of cosmic cannonballs, any one of which would have been an existential threat to us, and it had swallowed them whole. The event was a profound and humbling confirmation of Jupiter's role as the solar system's shield. We were watching our guardian at work, and its power was more awesome and more beautiful than we had ever imagined. The silent protector had, for a brief moment, shown us just how dangerous the neighborhood truly is, and just how fortunate we are to have it on our side. The story of Shoemaker-Levy 9 is a perfect, real-life illustration of Jupiter's protective power. It is a story of a dangerous intruder, captured, disarmed, and then absorbed by the great giant, before it had ever posed a threat to the fragile inner worlds. But this dramatic and spectacular role as a cosmic shield is not the only way that Jupiter has protected and nurtured the Earth. Its influence is more subtle and more profound than just taking the occasional hit. The great planet did not just save the Earth. In a very real sense, it may have helped to build it. To understand this deeper, more creative role, we must travel back in time once more. Back 4.5 billion years, to the dawn of our solar system. The sun was a young, energetic star, and the planets were still forming from the vast, swirling disk of gas and dust that surrounded it. It was a chaotic and crowded time. The solar system was not the stable, well-ordered place we know today. It was a cosmic construction site, filled with trillions of leftover planetesimals, the rocky and icy building blocks of worlds. In this early, turbulent era, Jupiter's influence was paramount. As the first and largest of the planets to form, it quickly became the gravitational king of the solar system. Its immense mass acted like a great gravitational snowplow, sculpting and organizing the chaotic disk of debris around it. It is Jupiter's gravity that is largely responsible for the existence of the asteroid belt between it and Mars. This region of space contains enough rocky material to have formed another planet, but Jupiter's constant, powerful gravitational stirring prevented this material from ever clumping together. It acted as a cosmic gatekeeper, preventing a fifth rocky planet from forming and, in doing so, defining the basic architecture of our solar system. But its most vital creative contribution was not what prevented, but what it delivered. The young Earth, forming the warm inner solar system, was a hot, dry, and barren world. It was too close to the young, fiery sun for water ice to condense and become a part of its initial formation. Our planet was born without its most essential ingredient for life. So where did our vast, beautiful, life-giving oceans come from? The answer, it seems, lies in the cold, outer regions of the solar system beyond the frost line, where Jupiter and the other giants were born. This region was rich with water, frozen into countless icy comets and asteroids. And it was Jupiter, the great gravitational shepherd, that helped to deliver this precious cargo to us. In the early, chaotic days of the solar system, Jupiter's immense gravity would frequently interact with these small, icy bodies. But it didn't just eject them from the solar system. Its gravitational nudges were complex. Sometimes it would perturb the orbit of an icy comet or asteroid in just the right way to send it careening inward on a path toward the dry, rocky inner planets. For hundreds of millions of years, in a period we now call the Late Heavy Bombardment, the inner solar system was pelted by a constant rain of these icy messengers, shepherded inwards by the gravitational influence of Jupiter and the other giant planets. Each impact was a violent and destructive event, but each impact was also a delivery of water. It was Jupiter, our great guardian, that helped to orchestrate this cosmic rain. It took the water from a cold, frozen plains of the outer solar system and delivered it, piece by patient piece, to our thirsty young world. It was the wellspring of our oceans. Without Jupiter's influence, the Earth might have remained a dry, barren, and lifeless rock. It did not just shield us from death from above, it delivered the very water that would allow life to begin. And so, the story of our guardian becomes richer and more complex. It is not just a shield. It is also a gardener, a planetary architect that shaped the very layout of our solar system, and a cosmic water bearer that made life on Earth possible. But as our understanding of the solar system has grown more sophisticated, a new and more nuanced chapter has been added to this story. We have learned that the relationship between a giant planet and its smaller, rocky neighbors is not always so simple. The same gravitational power that can protect and nurture can also, sometimes, disrupt and destroy. Jupiter's role, it turns out, is a double-edged sword. While it is true that it ejects the vast majority of long-period comets from the deep outer solar system, its gravity also has a powerful influence on the much closer asteroid belt. Its constant gravitational tugging can slowly and patiently perturb the orbits of asteroids that would otherwise be perfectly stable and harmless, placing them on new, elliptical paths that can cross the orbit of the Earth. So, while it protects us from one type of threat, it may, in fact, be the source of another. It cleans the house of the most dangerous, high-speed intruders from afar, but it also occasionally stirs up the dust in the room next door. This has led some scientists to question the simple narrative of Jupiter as our perfect shield. The story is more complex. Jupiter is less like a simple guardian, and more like a powerful and temperamental cosmic landlord. Its presence has defined the very conditions of our existence. It has, without question, profoundly reduced the overall impact rate on Earth, creating the long periods of stability necessary for life to evolve. But it is also a constant source of potential, albeit much smaller, threats. Our existence is a delicate balance, a cosmic bargain struck with the great giant next door. We live in the calm, protected space that is carved out in the solar system, a space made safe by its immense power. But we must also live with the quiet, ever-present knowledge that this same power can, from time to time, send a stray rock hurtling in our direction. Our relationship with our guardian is one of a deep and profound, if sometimes dangerous, symbiosis. This symbiotic relationship, this cosmic bargain between the Earth and Jupiter, is written into the very fabric of our solar system's history. It is a story not just of grand, sweeping acts of protection, but a constant, subtle, and ongoing gravitational conversation between the giant and the inner worlds. To truly appreciate this delicate balance, we must understand the immense scale of Jupiter's influence. Imagine the sun as a gentle, warm anchor at the center of a vast, calm pond. The planets are like small boats, circling peacefully in their orbits. But Jupiter is not a small boat. In this analogy, Jupiter is a colossal battleship, so massive that its own movement creates a significant wake, a series of gentle but powerful gravitational ripples that spread throughout the entire pond. Every other boat, no matter how small or how distant, feels the gentle rocking from Jupiter's passing. This constant, subtle influence is known as gravitational resonance. It happens when two orbiting bodies exert a regular, periodic gravitational influence on each other. And Jupiter's resonances are the most powerful in our solar system. They're like a deep, rhythmic, and invisible drumbeat, a pulse that has been shaping the orbits of smaller bodies for billions of years. We see this most clearly in the asteroid belt. The belt is not a uniform, evenly distributed field of rocks. It has distinct gaps, empty lanes in the cosmic highway, known as the Kirkwood gaps. These gaps are not empty by accident. They are regions where an asteroid would have an orbital period that is a simple fraction of Jupiter's own. For example, an asteroid in a 3:1 resonance would orbit the Sun exactly 3 times for every one orbit of Jupiter. An asteroid in such a resonant orbit is like a child on a swing, being pushed at the exact right moment in their arc. Each time the asteroid and Jupiter align, it receives a tiny gravitational nudge, always in the same direction. Over millions of years, these tiny, perfectly timed nudges add up, amplifying the eccentricity of the asteroid's orbit, stretching it out until it becomes unstable and is either ejected from the belt or sent on a path toward the Sun. Jupiter's patient, rhythmic pulse has methodically and relentlessly cleared these regions, creating a beautiful and ordered structure out of what was once chaotic debris. But this same resonant power that brings order can also create chaos. The very same mechanism that clears the Kirkwood gaps is what is responsible for occasionally nudging a different asteroid out of a stable orbit and sending it on a journey toward the inner solar system. Jupiter is a meticulous, but sometimes messy, organizer. It cleans a house, but in doing so, it sometimes sweeps a bit of dust under the rug of the inner planets. This dual role has led to one of the most fascinating and dramatic theories about the early history of our solar system, the Grand Tack Model. This theory proposes that Jupiter was not always the distant, stable guardian we know today. In its youth, it may have been a restless wanderer. The Grand Tack Model suggests that in the first few million years of the solar system's history, Jupiter, under the influence of the thick gas disk that still filled the solar system, began to migrate inward. It embarked on a slow, majestic journey toward the young sun, its immense gravity clearing a great path before it. It may have traveled as far inward as the modern-day orbit of Mars, a place that would have had catastrophic consequences for the formation of the inner rocky planets. As it moved inward, its gravity would have scattered the small planetesimals of the inner solar system like bowling pins, potentially destroying the building blocks of Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars before they ever had a chance to fully form. This was the dangerous side of our guardian, a youthful recklessness that could have sterilized the inner solar system forever. But then, a second hero entered the story, Saturn. Saturn, the second largest of the giant planets, was also forming, and it too began to migrate inward, moving faster than Jupiter. Eventually, Saturn caught up to Jupiter, and the two giants became locked in a powerful gravitational resonance. They began to exert a perfectly timed, rhythmic pull on each other, and the result of this celestial dance was astounding. The inward migration of both planets was halted, and then slowly and majestically reversed. Together, Jupiter and Saturn began to travel back outwards, away from the Sun, toward the orbits where we find them today. This great inward and then outward journey is known as the Grand Tack, named after the tacking maneuver of a sailboat changing direction. This journey, if it happened, would have had a profound and lasting impact on the entire solar system. As Jupiter and Saturn moved back outward through the asteroid belt, their combined gravity would have stirred and scattered the material there, sending a shower of both rocky and icy asteroids raining down on the inner solar system. This could have been the very event that delivered the final veneer of water and organic molecules to the young Earth, the final ingredients needed for the recipe of life. In this beautiful and dramatic story, Jupiter is not a static guardian. It is a dynamic and complex character. It was first a potential destroyer, its inward migration threatening to sweep the inner solar system clean. And then, in concert with Saturn, it became a savior and a creator, its outward migration delivering the very water of life and settling into the stable, protective orbit that has allowed Earth to remain a peaceful haven ever since. Our existence in this view is the result of a near miss, a cosmic catastrophe that was averted at the last moment by a beautiful, resonant, and perfectly timed planetary dance. And so, our guardian settled into its modern, stable orbit, a distant and watchful protector. But to truly appreciate the full scope of Jupiter's influence, we must draw our focus closer. We must look beyond the planet itself and into the intricate and beautiful family of worlds that it holds in its constant gravitational embrace. Jupiter is not just a planet. It is the center of its own solar system in miniature. A king surrounded by a court of nearly 100 known moons. Most of these are small, captured asteroids and comets, irregular chunks of rock and ice, quietly and obediently circling the great giant. But 4 of them are different. 4 of them are colossal worlds in their own right, each with its own unique personality, each a place of profound scientific interest. These are the great Galilean moons, discovered by Galileo Galilei over 400 years ago. And it is here, within its own family, that Jupiter's role shifts from a destroyer and a protector to something even more profound, a potential creator of habitats. As these large moons, Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, orbit the colossal planet, they are subjected to an immense and relentless gravitational force. It is not just a simple pull of Jupiter's own mass. The moons also pull on each other, creating a complex and rhythmic gravitational dance, a state of constant resonant nudging. This constant flexing and squeezing has a profound effect. It generates an incredible amount of internal heat through tidal friction. This tidal heating is the engine that drives the geology of these small worlds. We see its most violent and spectacular expression on the innermost of the Galilean moons, Io. Io is the most volcanically active body in our entire solar system. Its surface is a surreal and beautiful canvas of yellow, red, orange, and black, painted by the constant eruption of hundreds of volcanoes spewing sulfurous compounds. It is a world constantly being turned inside out by the relentless gravitational kneading of its parent planet. It is a place of fire and brimstone, made possible only by its proximity to the great giant. But as we move further out to the next moon, Europa, this same tidal energy creates a very different, and perhaps even more exciting, possibility. Europa is a world slightly smaller than our own moon, and its surface is a bright white and incredibly smooth shell of water ice, crisscrossed by a beautiful and complex network of long, dark cracks and ridges. It is a world that looks like a fractured porcelain egg. Beneath this icy shell, which may be several kilometers thick, the constant tidal heating from Jupiter is believed to be strong enough to maintain a vast, global, and liquid water ocean. An ocean hidden from our view, kept warm and liquid not by the distant light of the sun, but by the constant, gentle gravitational massage of its parent planet. Let us pause to contemplate the wonder of this idea. A dark, hidden ocean, potentially more than 100 kilometers deep, containing more than twice the amount of liquid water found in all of Earth's oceans combined. It is a vast, ancient, and stable body of liquid water, protected from the harsh radiation of space by its thick, icy shell. And where there is liquid water and a source of energy and the right chemical ingredients, all of which are thought to exist on Europa, there is the tantalizing possibility of life. This is perhaps Jupiter's most profound and unexpected role. The very same gravitational power that shields the Earth from comets may have created a second, independent cradle for life in our very own solar system. The Guardian, in its quiet, constant, and powerful presence, may have nurtured not one, but 2 life-bearing worlds. The hidden ocean of Europa would be a strange and wonderful place. It would be a world of absolute darkness, lit only by the occasional hydrothermal vent on the ocean floor, spewing out heat and chemical nutrients from the moon's rocky interior. Any life that exists here would not be powered by sunlight, but by chemosynthesis, drawing its energy from the chemical reactions in these deep-sea vents, much like the strange and beautiful ecosystems we find in the deepest trenches of Earth's own oceans. It is a profound and humbling thought. that our search for life beyond Earth might find its first success not on a distant, Earth-like planet orbiting a faraway star, but right here in our own backyard, in a dark, cold ocean, kept alive by the gentle, rhythmic breathing of our great cosmic guardian. The story of Jupiter is, therefore, a story that continues to unfold. It is a story that has grown from a simple tale of a passive shield to a complex epic of a planetary architect, a deliverer of water, and now, a potential nurturer of alien life. Its influence is woven into every aspect of our solar system's history and into the very fabric of our own existence. It is a silent, constant, and powerful presence that has made our peaceful world possible, and which may be sheltering other, stranger forms of life just next door. This tantalizing possibility of a second genesis, a second independent origin of life, all happening under the watchful eye of our great guardian, represents one of the most exciting frontiers in all of science. The story of Jupiter is not just a story of our past, of the protection that allowed us to evolve. It is also a story of our future, of the great explorations and discoveries that still lie ahead. And the mysteries are not confined to the hidden ocean of Europa. The entire Jovian system is a treasure trove of scientific puzzles and wonders. Let us drift for a moment to its larger sibling, Ganymede, the king of moons, orbiting the king of planets. Ganymede is a world of profound and beautiful contrasts. Its surface is a patchwork of two distinct types of terrain. There are the old, dark, and heavily cratered regions, ancient landscapes that have remained largely unchanged for billions of years, a frozen record of the solar system's violent youth. And then there are the younger, brighter, and grooved regions, vast swathes of icy terrain crisscrossed by an intricate network of ridges and troughs, hinting at a more recent and dramatic geological history. This suggests that Ganymede was not always a quiet, frozen world. In its past, it may have undergone great tectonic upheavals, its icy crust cracking and shifting, driven by forces from within. And the source of that internal energy? Once again, the gentle but relentless tidal flexing from its parent, Jupiter. But Ganymede holds an even deeper secret, one that makes it unique among all the moons in our solar system. It is the only moon that is known to generate its own intrinsic magnetic field. A magnetic field is generated by a molten conductive core, which means that deep within this icy world, there must be a churning liquid heart of molten iron, much like the Earth's own core. This creates a stunning and complex picture, a world of ice, with a heart of fire, wrapped in its own protective magnetic bubble, all while orbiting inside the even larger magnetic bubble of its parent planet. And some scientists believe that, like Europa, Ganymede too may harbor a hidden, subterranean ocean of liquid water, sandwiched between layers of different types of ice, a deep, dark, and secret sea, kept liquid by the moon's own internal heat. The family of our guardian is a family of ocean worlds, a family of hidden possibilities. And even the smallest of the Galilean moons, Callisto, the outermost of the four, tells a fascinating story. At first glance, it seems the least interesting. It is a dark, ancient, and heavily cratered world, often called the most cratered object in our solar system. Its surface is a uniform, silent testament to 4.5 billion years of cosmic bombardment. It seems to be a dead world, a simple, frozen museum. But even Callisto holds a deep and profound secret. Data from the Galileo spacecraft suggests that Callisto, too, may have a hidden, salty ocean deep beneath its ancient, battered crust. Unlike Europa and Ganymede, it experiences very little tidal heating today. So, how could this ocean remain liquid? The answer may lie in the natural radioactivity of its rocky core, a slow, patient, and gentle heat that has been seeping out for eons. Or perhaps the salts and ammonia mixed in with the water act as a natural antifreeze, allowing it to remain liquid at temperatures far below its normal freezing point. Each of these worlds is a chapter in the great book of Jupiter, a chapter that tells the story of how a single giant planet can create a diverse and wondrous ecosystem of worlds around it. It can heat a world to the point of constant volcanic eruption. It can warm another just enough to create a vast hidden ocean. It can give a third a molten magnetic heart. And it can preserve a fourth as a perfect, frozen record of ancient history, while perhaps still hiding a secret, salty sea. Jupiter is a creator of diversity. Its immense gravitational and magnetic influence is not a monolithic force. It is a delicate and complex instrument, playing a different tune on each of its moons, sculpting each one into a unique and fascinating world. And this is, perhaps, the final and most profound aspect of its role as our guardian. Its influence has not just created a single safe haven for life on Earth. It has, in its own domain, created a whole suite of different planetary laboratories, each one a unique experiment in the physics and chemistry of world building. And in doing so, it has given us a priceless gift. It has given us a local, accessible library of worlds, a place where we can study the different paths a planet can take, and in doing so, learn more about the conditions that make our own world so precious and so unique. The story of the planet that saved the Earth is, in the end, a story that is much larger than just the Earth. It is the story of an entire system, a story of a great, central, and powerful presence, whose influence has brought both order and diversity, both protection and the potential for new creation, to its entire family of worlds. And so, we arrive at the end of our grand journey, not with a simple portrait of a planetary hero, but with a rich and complex mosaic of a true cosmic force. Jupiter, our great guardian, is not just one thing. It is a multitude of beautiful and powerful truths, all unfolding at once. It is the great shield, the silent sentinel whose immense gravity has tirelessly patrolled the outer solar system for billions of years, deflecting and absorbing countless threats that could have ended the story of life on Earth before it had truly begun. We have seen its power with our own eyes, in the scarred and bruised atmosphere where it swallowed a broken comet whole, a dramatic and unforgettable reminder of protection we so often take for granted. It is a great architect, the gravitational king whose presence sculpted the very layout of our solar system. It is the reason we have a stable asteroid belt and not a chaotic fifth planet. Its youthful, wandering dance with Saturn may have been the very event that shaped the final arrangement of the inner worlds, creating the specific, stable conditions that make our planet a haven. It is the great gardener, the cosmic water-bearer. Its patient, gravitational nudges are what likely orchestrated the great bombardment that delivered the water of our oceans from the cold, icy depths of the outer solar system. It took a dry, barren rock and gave it the gift of water, the single most essential ingredient for the beautiful and complex story of life to unfold. It is a creator of strange and wonderful habitats, a nurturer of the unexpected. Its constant rhythmic, gravitational embrace generates a hidden warmth within its own family of moons, creating vast, dark, subterranean oceans where life, in a form we can only dream of, might be silently thriving. The guardian that protects one cradle of life may be actively warming another. And finally, it has been our silent muse, a brilliant, golden light in our ancestral night sky, a king of gods that inspired our myths. It was a celestial key in Galileo's telescope, the object that unlocked the true nature of the cosmos and showed us our real place within it. It is a constant source of wonder, a destination for our robotic explorers, and profound and beautiful reminder of how much we still have to learn. This is the true legacy of Jupiter. Its story is a profound lesson in the interconnectedness of all things. It reminds us that no world is an island. Our small, blue planet is not an isolated miracle. Its safety, its composition, its very ability to harbor life, and even our intellectual journey as a species, are all deeply and inextricably linked to the presence of its colossal, distant neighbor. We are part of the system, a beautiful and complex cosmic family, where the actions and the very existence of one member have profound and lasting consequences for all the others. And in this knowledge, there is a deep and profound sense of peace. It is a quiet and powerful antidote to any feeling of cosmic loneliness or chaos. We are part of a grand, stable, and ancient celestial dance, a dance that has been unfolding with near-perfect rhythm for billions of years. We are held in a gravitational embrace that is both powerful and gentle, both protective and creative. And so now, as our long and gentle journey comes to its final, quiet close, let's bring our awareness all the way back from the hidden oceans of Europa, back from the volcanic plains of Io, back from the ancient asteroid belt, back from the swirling crimson eye of the great red spot. Let us return our focus to the quiet, safe, and comfortable space that you are in right now. Feel the gentle, unwavering pull of our own planet's gravity, a constant and reassuring presence. It is a tiny, perfect echo of the same fundamental force that governs the great dance of our solar system, the force that holds us in our peaceful orbit, and the force that allows our great guardian to watch over us from afar. As you lie here, in the stillness and the dark, you are safe. The cosmic shooting gallery is quiet tonight, and our great, silent shepherd is on its long, patient watch, its immense gravitational field a constant and unwavering shield. Let that feeling of profound, systemic safety be a gentle anchor for your mind as you prepare to drift off to sleep. Let go of the anxieties and the chaotic thoughts of your day. Let them be like the distant, wandering comets, gently guided away into the deep, dark void by a power far greater than your own. You are protected. You are part of a stable, beautiful, and ancient system. All is truly well. And as you close your eyes, perhaps you can allow one final, peaceful image to form in your mind. A picture of our entire solar system, a family of worlds, spinning silently in the darkness. And there in the outer realms, the great golden giant Jupiter, making its slow, majestic rounds, a silent and eternal guardian, forever watching over its small and precious family of inner worlds. It is a story of balance, of protection, of creation, and of a deep and profound cosmic peace. And it is, and always will be, our story. Sleep well. You are safe. The guardian of our solar system is on duty.